2, 1. You're live.
Thank God. It's been a hard day. I wasn't sure if we were.
Oh, yeah?
Not alive, just live.
Yeah. All live. Okay, my bad.
It's been a hard day. I wasn't sure. Oh, Lord. Welcome to the Bear Facts on Guns, where host Derek Baer and his guests are locked and loaded to educate, inspire, and yes, answer your questions about firearms. Tonight, season 1 finale, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ready, aim, Derek.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in here on 216 The Net. Really appreciate it. Happy Thursday and Merry Christmas in 2 days. So we'll get that out of the way. Christmas Eve tomorrow.
Yes, it is exciting. Look at that. Our good friend Chris Gibson.
Hey, Chris Gibson. Welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Scott Giles.
Scott Giles. What's up, buddy? How are you doing, bud? Scott's got a great show.
Yeah, he'll be on tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Scott, great show. I love watching that show. It's amazing. Kiki's on. What's up? Nice setup. Yes, I agree.
Oh, yeah, we changed it up a little bit.
I know. For those of you listening, Kent changed up the entire studio. We got a cool desk here, cool microphones in front of us. And I just got to emphasize real quick that Ken got me one of the coolest gifts ever known to man. And I'm not holding a live firearm. It's just a coffee mug with a gun.
That's
a handle. It's really hard to see in there.
It's got a pistol grip.
It's pistol grip. And I'm not going to lie. It's really comfortable. I will make sure to keep my finger off the trigger. Pun intended.
Yeah, thank you very much. They got it. It is loaded with a little bit of Red Bull.
It is. Red Bull sponsored you today. Right. So Red Bull, you listening right now? Because I'll take a Red Bull.
Please make all checks.
Red Bull real quick.
That's right. Please make all checks at DDOE.
Apparently, you don't have to push the trigger anymore from what,
somebody says. Oh, yeah. No, you certainly don't.
It's a cue a slow slurp right now. Which
That's right. It is.
It is bad. Ton of stuff going on across the world here, and especially in the United States here.
Max says that's his Red Bull.
That's your Red Bull? It is Max Red Bull. I do appreciate it, Mac. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mac, for the 26 grams of sugar and an additional 26 grams of sugar. So if I get a little bit on a ramble here, you guys know exactly why I'm on a sugar high. That's what happens. What else you got over there? Oh, you got the good stuff over there.
A little fireball in there for you.
It does sound good today. That Magda brought in really good stuff today, some Polish drink. And Mac, you can go ahead and say it because I can't pronounce whatever the heck it is. That was like orange juice mixed with vodka or something on there too. Oh, cleanest, nicest stuff. So
delicious.
We had a couple booster shots during the office today.
After hours.
Yes. From 6:30 to 7.
Yeah.
AM or PM, I don't remember. But it was good. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pronounce that.
Miodovka.
Oh, did he get it right? Mac, it's pretty close.
Miodovka.
Wow. Okay, cool. You have a little Polish in you?
Yeah, I'm playing Prism. Herpes. Look at that. He said that's right.
He did. Yeah. Yeah. I can't do that. Every time, obviously my business partner is Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Mac's Polish, Magda's Polish, Jessica's Polish.
Yeah.
And some of our team's Polish. And I get them to try to get me to pronounce new words.
Yeah.
And I can't even pronounce half the words I want to say half the time.
Alec.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that. Kiki's on here watching that too. And so they're teaching me new words all the time. And I can't enunciate any of them. Kiki teaches me Greek all the time too. And honey spirits. That's it. It's homemade honey spirits.
Yeah,
and
Sounds good.
Oh, it's so good. It warms right in the middle of the chest.
That's what you need this time of season.
It felt good. Got rid of anything that's brewing in there, I guess you could say. So, yeah. So, thank you all for amazing season 1. It's been a great show. It's been great to be an honor to be on here. We had some really good guests this year. A lot of good information that we kind of broke down, talked about, and obviously our biggest profit is safety. And I stole Kiki's Ruger Wrangler today for this episode.
Interesting.
So I want to number one, apologize to Kiki because I didn't tell her about it and I stole it. And last time I asked her, she said no, but I just took it anyway because you know what?
You got to deal with that when you get home.
I got a good valid point with this kind of stuff. Plus, I want to visually show people what I'm talking about.
You got to see it on radio.
It is. So I want to start off by number one saying that this is completely unloaded. There is 0 bullets, prop bullets, fake bullets, dummy rounds, or any other rounds that you can possibly think of. It's completely empty. Okay. So I took it out completely.
And that looks like what I would call the little bullet holder barrel.
Yeah. So it's the
6-shooter.
Yeah, it
piece
is a 6-shooter. Yeah,
from when you were a kid.
It's a revolver.
Yeah.
So if Tom were here, he could give you a technical term.
Yeah.
I'm not that technical with that. So it's the first year I've ever shot with that. And the rest of the firearm itself is here. Again, no bullets on set at all. No live rounds on set. There's none in the office.
Nice black grip. We've got a silver hammer there, a pewter, I guess, maybe. A black, black on black on black is nice.
So this is a single action firearm.
Okay.
So what that means is that when I put this back together, because I'm going to put it back together for you to show you how it operates, just to let you know, to the left of me, so stage right for my production people out there. Stage right is a concrete wall, and behind that is a completely empty parking lot, which I already checked before I came here. There might be somebody there now, but we're 2 stories up in the air, so I'm not too worried about that as well. So just so everyone's gun safety is on there as well. Single action means that you cannot just pull the trigger. You actually have to cock the hammer back, and it's the only way that you can engage the firearm. Similar to Alec. Oh, I can't do it again. I've been practicing all day too. Alec Baldwin's.
Yeah.
Colt Revolver 45, which was a single action as well. And we're going to break down a little bit of how the hammer works.
It was very mysterious how it went off by itself.
Yeah. And I'm going to prove today, which I'm going to say out there, multiple people have proven that there's 2 stages to this gun. So there's a stage 1 and a locking stage. So a stage 1, it actually primes everything. So it moves the revolver into place, and stage 2 is ready for fire, meaning that the pin and bullets are all aligned with the gun, and all you gotta do is push the trigger. I almost said pull the trigger. Tom, you're in my head every time I say that, and I appreciate it. So funny thing about this is this doesn't have a stage 1, so the stage 1 will not work on this firearm. Stage 2 is the only one that it is. So I'm gonna put this back together really quick, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of trivia with this as well. This firearm is similar in the way that, and this is a 22 long range. This is not a 45. This is a very heavy firearm. This is solid steel. There's a plastic handle on here for the grip.
It kind of looks like a Western gun.
It is, and that's exactly it. It's a very inexpensive firearm. It's $200 right around there for this. I bought it on Target, actually. It's Kiki's second firearm that she purchased. And there is a drop down window here, which is where you actually load and unload the firearm. And there's a part here. You got to actually line it up that actually pushes bullets out. So they do not eject. You actually have to open this little door, and this little door then basically is where you can load the rounds into it. It is free, meaning it spins when the door is open. If you shut the door, it locks into place, which locks the mechanism as well. And you pull down your hammer, which rotates that, and that is locked in position and ready for fire. And to safely unload it, put your thumb on the back of the hammer, push the trigger, and let it drop very simply. And it's safe and it's locked in place, which is nice. There's 2 stages to this, and I'm going to try to get this in the microphone so it's actually nice and quiet. Stage 1.
Nice click.
Nice little click, okay?
Yeah.
Stage 2 is a louder click, okay?
Yeah.
Stage 2 locks. The Colt 45 that Alec used, I'm going to do it all night already.
I love it.
Yeah. Is you can actually lock it in stage 1. Okay. So when you hear that first click. Okay. There's actually a lock in place. There. If you look at the revolver part, okay. it is halfway in between where it's supposed to be.
So if
I
let
that go,
it's not
by the
hitting
way,
a bullet.
I can rotate this. It's not lined up.
Interesting.
That's stage 1. So let me break that down for a second again. So when I pull this back to stage 1, you're gonna hear click. You're gonna see it rotate just a little bit. Okay.
Yep.
If I let this go,
it doesn't rotate.
It won't rotate any farther, and it's not lined up. So I'm not going to point it this way towards the camera because Kent is there, and even though I know this is unloaded firearm, it's not safe to point firearms loaded or unloaded at anybody else as well. Asking for forgiveness is easier than permission. About?
Yeah.
I don't know. Scott, you got to emphasize.
Well, he does own an adult store.
Oh, that's true.
A romantic boutique.
He does own a romantic boutique.
Sorry.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah. A little Polish in you.
I know, apparently. So again, I'm gonna pull this back to stage 1 again because I want you to see. So right now I've locked this into place. The barrel is lined up with where the bullet actually goes inside the gun, and it lines up where the hammer is. I can pull this trigger as hard as I want, and it will not go back.
Right.
The hammer will not. It's not a double action. It's a single action.
It's not a cap gun. A cap gun will.
Not a cap gun.
Right.
So when I do stage 1 on this, pulling this back, you're going to see the barrel or the revolver rotate. Stage 1, it's in between the 2 spots.
Yeah. Now let's be honest. Even if you're not a firearm expert,
sure,
you would see that the hammer was disengaged, I guess, from where it rests.
Yep.
Right now.
Yep.
I'm probably not saying that correctly, but you would see that it was open.
Sure.
I guess is the way I would say it.
Yeah.
It's open.
If you pull this back and actually cock this, and it's locked in place,
wide open. You
wide
can
open.
See that.
Here's the cool thing: I cannot physically, and I'm going to do this for purposes that it is. I am physically pushing up on this.
Yeah, you can't.
Pulling it, moving it, and I can't get this thing to go. The only way it works is if I pull the trigger. Squeeze the trigger. That says again.
Push it.
Push the trigger. Okay. And it's back up into place.
Yeah.
So my question, and the question of the courts that I have at this point now, and Hutchinson's dad just recently came on the news and asked why he's not being held partly responsible.
Right.
My question is, and for you gun enthusiasts out there, it's now your weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you have it like this, you can't pull the trigger. Push the trigger. Keep saying it wrong. Push the trigger, right? If it accidentally goes off in this position, he might actually have a fight. Gun malfunction, something's wrong with the bullet, something's wrong with the gun manufacturer.
Right.
Again, we're going to start this down this rabbit hole real quick because you're still pointing at somebody that you shouldn't be. Loaded or unloaded?
Didn't point it either.
Oh, he
would never
point it. But she's dead. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how that happened. If it pointed itself, I'm going to rest this on the table for the rest of the show. And Ken, if it meanders towards you and points towards you, self-loads itself and does not push the trigger and goes off, unloaded, by the way, I'm really sorry. We can yell at the gun. We probably should arrest it.
So, and let's talk about this a little bit.
Yep.
I got paid to do, I'm sure, an exclusive interview. I didn't do that for free. I'm more than positive I got paid to do that. Number one.
Airtime is airtime.
And number two is in the United States, I have to create reasonable doubt. And now, have I done that?
You've covered your tracks.
Oh,
you
well.
sat with a lawyer.
Very, very well.
And you found the correct verbiage to basically not implement yourself into a crime that you committed. Okay. And I don't mean a crime, right? So there's a difference between, I truly believe.
A murder. Let's call it what it is.
It is. Murder versus
a crime. I stole your wallet.
Correct.
This is somebody's death.
Involuntary manslaughter versus murder is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I am not trying to go towards Mr. Baldwin when it comes down to murder. I am trying to go towards Baldwin involuntary manslaughter.
Okay.
You are responsible. You held the firearm. You didn't check the firearm. regardless of what the safety inspection is. George Clooney says it best when he said it too. You always check your firearm no matter what. You get trained how to check your firearm. If you're not getting trained how to check your firearm, you shouldn't touch it. You shouldn't be on a show. You shouldn't be on set. You should leave the show, because exactly what could happen did happen. And now you're just fighting it, and you're causing a big ruckus. Like I'm not
on a low budget film too, by the way. So he probably wasn't making multi-millions of dollars.
Does it matter? She's dead.
Doesn't matter, right? I'm
Money
just saying.
doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
I agree with you, but you had a team of specialists, and then you go after and attack her because her credibility. Okay, again, if it's not a right fit for you and it's not safe, get the fuck off the show. Yeah. Leave the production. Are you hurting that much where you have to put somebody's life in danger, where safety becomes out of the question? Safety never trumps anything.
Never.
In our business, we do not trump safety at all, ever. I should have brought a gas that was a gas. We just did a gas valve the other day that literally was on fire from a previous install. Literally, it burned the gas valve, the metal gas valve.
Yikes.
It melted it. Yeah. That thing was on fire. Safety is no question in anything that we do every single day. It will keep me up at night. It will make me not be a good business person at all when it comes down to our business. And I don't think I can live with myself. We burned a house down because we didn't follow safety protocol, because we skipped some step that we shouldn't have skipped. Yeah. Safety is, we can speak about it until we're blue in the face, but at the same time, if we're not acting on it and not actually actively doing it, it's not going to be worth it as all. Let's get to the comments real quick, because I saw a bunch of them come through. Scott said, he said asking for Brigas. All right, Chris, it's the same magic bullet that killed Kennedy. You okay there, buddy?
You know what?
Chris, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, and now I'm very passionate about the JFK.
Okay. I wasn't alive then, so we just read them in books. So I don't.
And it just, to me, I mean, if you ever go visit Dallas and you go to the book place, right? And you can get up on you can't get into where Lee Harvey was.
Sure.
They've got that all glassed off and put back the way it was that day. But you can go up on the floor above, and I'm up on the floor above, and I'm looking at him going, if I was going to kill somebody, I wouldn't have pointed over there. I would have pointed right there.
Okay.
Right? Now, I'm not a trained assassin.
Sure.
So, I appreciate the magic bullet. This one magically
was on set. That shouldn't have been on set. Mixed in with a whole bunch of other stuffs. And you didn't push the trigger.
Well, okay, if it didn't, and it wasn't in your hand, you'd have shot your own foot. Is that fair to say?
It is.
More than likely, you would have had that in your holster if it was a Western.
Absolutely.
And you would have shot your own foot.
Yep.
It's fair to say that.
100%.
This thing came out.
Yep. If you were testing a shot, okay? Again, I'm just gonna reiterate this. If you are legit doing exactly what she says, you are not supposed to have, and you're trying to line up a shot, why'd the hammer get pulled back?
Yeah.
You could have safely pointed this firearm, even with your finger on the trigger, it won't fire.
Right.
Why did you do this?
Right.
I don't understand. Why was this engaged? This is its own safety by itself, is the trigger. It's a single action. It's not a double action.
Now, this was a 1800s gun. Is it still safety that way? I don't know.
It's okay. Yeah. Single actions exactly the same as right here,
whether
as
they
do back
from the
in
1800s or in the year
20. That's why this, by the way, Ruger Wrangler, great job with this firearm. It shoots beautifully. It's very easy to clean. It's very easy to operate. It's a heavy gun, so you have very little recoil on it. This is what they carried in the Westerns, not this exact gun. It wouldn't carry 22. They usually carry 45. 45 is too big for my wife at this point. God, that sounded bad coming out. Hey, sorry, honey. So Mac, you're gonna have a field day with that one. I can already tell. So the action of how the single action works, you have to stage 1, stage 2.
Okay.
Stage 1, stage 2 is how it has to work. I'm not familiar with stage 1 single actions versus stage 2 single actions. I'll let Tom with On Target, or the guys that are out there, and Uncle Pete, God rest his soul, I'm guarantee you would know that freaking information. But I just don't use them enough with revolvers. I'm not a big revolver fan. So To answer your question, though, no, you can't push the trigger.
So what are you mad about then, Derek?
What am I mad about?
Yeah.
That he pulled the hammer back. Number one, I'm mad that she's dead. Number two, he's playing the victim. Number three, he's acting like he's not playing the victim, even though he's saying he's not playing the victim, which is just cause for you're playing the fucking victim. Let's play the rules and let's be truthful on this and stop lying to everyone, and lying to yourself is the most part of it as well. You have a subpoena now for your cell phone records, which means that there's something going on, okay, on the back end, which is great to me. I'm happy about that. Take his phone, see what text message he says, see what text message he says to X, Y, and Z, and deleted messages and deleted whatever. Because at the end of the day, if it gets to the end of it and shows that he's lying, put him in jail. And now it's murder, because now you're covering shit up that you shouldn't be covering up. You should just own your mistake and let the mercy of the courts give you an involuntary manslaughter, and you'll be known for the rest of the time as an involuntary manslaughter guy, and you went to jail for 10 years or whatever justice system decides to do. At the end of the day, you're not being a victim. You didn't die. I don't care about your mental shit that you have to deal with every day, because at the end of the day, you killed somebody and you're not taking ownership of it. That's what I'm pissed about. It's disgusting. Right?
Okay.
That's my opinion.
No, well, and I guess that's the hard pill to swallow is the hard pill to swallow here is not that it is quote unquote gun violence. The hard pill to swallow here is nobody is sitting behind bars and nobody that you know what I mean? I mean, he comes.
There's no fucking responsibility. There's no action.
He comes on an interview.
Yeah.
Tan.
Beautifully looking. Oh, makeup up. I'm sure he's sat in a fucking makeup chair.
Doesn't look too stressed.
No.
To me.
No.
Right?
I'm going to give him an Academy Award for the little bawling cry thing.
Well, his makeup didn't even run.
No. That's because it's a waterproof eyeshadow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, that's a Hollywood trick.
I don't know that. So the hard pill to swallow is, and again, we were talking about some different things in the green room, is if that's you, if that's me,
oh yeah,
we're still sitting in a jail in New Mexico
right away.
Right away.
It's not even a question, and you're right. So because he's famous, lead by fucking example. Hey, listen. Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
I didn't push the trigger. Should have been his first fucking conversation. He waited to an interview in front of millions of people so that he can claim mistrial at some point if he needs to, because that's what's going to happen.
That's
here,
right,
boys and girls.
Absolutely.
Just FYI, I'm going to stand up in a minute because I'm getting
fired up.
I'm getting fired up here. It's a Red Bull. It's back. It's your fault, buddy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna sit here and it's okay to literally not arrest somebody that fired the gun. Right. Okay, I'm just gonna say fired the gun at this point, because if you pull the trigger or not, push the trigger doesn't matter. Chris, what did you say here?
Yeah, but we have people still in prison for being in the Capitol on January 6th.
Yeah. That's true story.
Because they were trespassing. That's different. That's different. Of course, there weren't any movie stars that were there.
Not yet. Right. There'll be some movies about the Capitol riots. I'm sure they come out in the future.
I imagine.
And those, I've watched so many videos on the Capitol riots.
It's the insurrection. It wasn't a Capitol riot. It was an insurrection.
Okay, cool. I love the.
All right. So anyway, I think what does Val have to say? Val says, Derek, can you show the audience what it really wants? Those guns on your arms.
Val, you can see him tonight in about 2 hours. When I come see you, buddy. So that is Kiki's brother.
Obviously,
welcome back. Man.
Obviously, those can be concealed and carried. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they're a little deflated at times, though, so they'll get worked out as much as I want them to. Welcome to the show, Val. Thank you for joining in.
So, all right. So again, we go back to someone, and anybody who's out there who has who does not like firearms and wants firearms to be the laws to be stricter on firearms. Please let us know. We're kind of riled up here, but we want to hear your side of things too, because here again now we have an individual who is dead. And we have somebody who is saying it's the gun's fault. It is not me. It was not operator error. It was not, oh my gosh, I was playing around. It was, I didn't pull anything. Gun just went off. Okay. So now it goes away from manslaughter or murder to going, it's old gun.
Yep.
It's not my fault. And Jerry and Jill over here, they should have made sure there were no bullets in it.
Yep.
And even though there was bullets in it, even if it would have been fake, the thing still would have gone off by itself. It's the gun's fault.
I'm fucking disappointed in the police department.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm disappointed. I'm going to call out the chief of police on this when it comes to this kind of stuff.
And hey, pick up, comment. We know you're listening out there, Chief. So
honestly, you probably need to look for another job.
You should
right away. It's disgusting to me that we're not allowing the justice system to go. We obviously have the person that has handled the firearm, who has killed somebody using that firearm in whatever sense it is. Yeah. That is a court of law, and it is a justice system and a jury to decide what the fate of him should be in that way. And he'd have to prove it. Chris, you're completely right in that comment. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why has not that been done? And I'm so happy that her dad said something. Yeah. How is he not partially responsible for this? And why is it taking so long? Why is he walking around, drinking coffee, going to visit family, about to have fucking Christmas with his family while she's not there anymore? And he's walking out free because he thinks it's okay. It's disgusting. We need to fix. It's a problem. Celebrities should not be treated differently than normal human beings. And I mean normal human beings, meaning that we don't have $1 million in our bank account. Okay. Money talks. That's great. But all I have to do to be a real good high-class murderer is have a bunch of money. I'm going to go rob a bank and become a billionaire. I'm going to rob 50 banks and become a billionaire. I can go shoot whoever I want all the time. Does that make it okay? Am I famous now? If we become famous on and here, does that treat differently? Human me as a person, if an accident happens like that, it is taught in concealed carry class. It is taught in firearms safety trainings. It's taught if you ever get any training at all. You own every bullet that comes out of that firearm. Plain and simple. It is yours. Mm-hmm. Don't care about the rest of it. It is black or white. That's it.
Well, yeah. I mean, Chris, you're right. Chris, it's called a privilege for being a celebrity. Welcome to America. And listen, we're
not talking about a speeding ticket here, guys. Somebody's dead.
Yeah.
If it's a speeding ticket and you're a celebrity and you're starstruck and the cop's happy and nobody got hurt, okay, I've gotten out of 1 million speeding tickets in my life that I probably shouldn't have gotten out of. And I was just nice to the officer, respectful of the officer. I'm not a celebrity. He let me go.
Sure, right here. 21/6.
I'm trying to be a celebrity. I'm trying to get famous. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't change who I am as a moral person ever for that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, I can't sleep like that. So I don't know how he's sleeping, unless he's just lying to himself that bad that he's just incoherent.
But again,
I don't know.
We're trying now to make this a gun issue.
It's because he's an anti-gunner.
Yeah.
People. Yeah. So of course he's going to make it guns. We could have played the script out perfectly here, and he's laying the script out more for us to make this a big freaking show. And you're right, Kent. He's getting freaking paid.
Oh yeah, he's not doing those for free. So
where's the family getting paid for this? Maybe they should take all his money on his interview and pay his family for whatever they have for now. She's not here.
Because you believe in the justice system, they'll have the ability to do that.
And I'm trying very hard to allow the justice system to do that. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah,
I'm looking for his job next, by the way.
Chief
of police.
And I haven't heard, right? I haven't heard if, the match game is looking for a new whole, you know what I mean? Sure. I haven't heard any fallout from this for his, and here's a guy too. Now let's be honest. Here's a guy who's had a bit of a rocky past, right? In the public eye.
Great.
Drunken, arguing with his daughter type thing in a bathtub.
A-class citizen right there. Good remember? American citizen.
So he's not even that first class citizen.
He's not an A-class celebrity.
And here we are. And again, if I was known and I had a record for what he did.
Yep.
And I would never have made it out of New Mexico.
Absolutely not.
I certainly wouldn't be in the Hamptons.
Chilling out with my family, drinking $40 espressos and,
right.
driving around your Range Rover or whatever you're driving around. And
I wouldn't.
and he's all mad at the media for following him. Well, the media wants to know. The media is asking questions that the police aren't asking. There's no information. You do a fake interview and shame on the interviewee. I don't even want to mention his name. Yeah, whatever. Douchebag is what I'm gonna call him for entertaining this. Right. By the way, he's another fellow Greek. On there as well. And I freaking love Greeks, and I like you. You literally helped that out as well. On there. Awesome.
Well, so, and I guess, Chris, I would ask is what do they have to do with this? Yes. It was.
We'll get to Rittenhouse here in a little bit because Rittenhouse is doing a lot of good stuff for him, and I'm not saying good stuff in general. I'm just making an advocate that he's actually going to sue the media like he should because the media talked down without getting facts, right? So facts are the key part of what we are. They assumed a lot of things. They tried to sway the minds of Americans to believe that he was guilty and should be in jail. And there's video, on there as well. And, we're talking in the green room here, right? About the openness of the trial. Number one, I watched a prosecutor who probably shouldn't have a job also. There's a lot of people I should probably say shouldn't have a job right now in this way. This prosecutor did a terrible job. And I watched a judge stumble through words. I watched a real trial that America should be proud of because I watched a lot of facts. I watched a lot of different things play out that, although it was embarrassing at times for how things were said or how procedures are done, or, I watch a judge and, I think of a judge as having to be absolutely perfect, but you watch a judge kind of stumble through like, hey, am I supposed to do this or not? All live, complete and utter transparency. But yet we have another trial going on that is about 4 pictures that were hand drawn, not even photographs,
right,
with a child trafficking ring with some big names being completely hidden from the public other than what the media is telling you.
Right.
Folks, if you haven't understood the world we live in right now, the media is trying to sell you stuff. And that sale is very clear. It's called being scared so that you buy stuff to make yourself not scared.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. It's that simple. So if a Kyle Rittenhouse trial, which has evidence and is transparent and is not as big a case, in my opinion, when it comes down to the names that are being released, why is that not transparent? I think there needs to be a new law put in place that every single murder trial should be live streamed so that anybody can view it. And by the way, let's think about this for a second. If you do that, you don't have to have anybody in the courtroom at all. So it's COVID friendly, number one. Number two, you're not going to have people like the victim's family or the prosecutor's family get all riled up, cause a big issue in the courtroom because they're sitting in their house watching it live. So it's a safety precaution that you now can have a quiet and fair trial presented in front of you. Just throwing it out there. Okay. Makes a lot of sense to me. If you agree with it, let me know. If you disagree with it, obviously let me know because I'm curious of everyone's thoughts on that. It's disgusting right now.
Right.
With that. Jessica's doing a barf face. I like that.
So, so to help Chris understand that particular...
Chris should ask that question on a certain show on here. Because there's a gentleman who's phenomenal. I respect the hell out of him. And he actually can answer that question. And I don't want to speak on behalf of that question. Do you want to say what it is, or do you want to?
Well, yeah. I mean, he just asked, where is Black Lives Matter on this?
Yeah.
They were all over the Kyle Rittenhouse. Now,
sure.
The difference is that happened at and during a protest.
Correct.
That there were a lot of BLM supporters.
Yep.
Right. This particular one is a white guy who shot a white girl on a closed set.
Mhm.
There wasn't, I don't think that organization was involved with funding that movie
Yep.
or anything of that nature. So I would ask, or that's how I would put that, and just
Sure.
say, interesting, and that, and here's the issue I have with comments like that.
Yep.
It goes to show we're not thinking clearly, and all we want to do is argue.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Why even bring that up? Number one, and this is where a lot of people get frustrated with gunners, or
Sure.
people who like guns or
Yep.
feel a certain way, is you kind of know the answer to that before you throw it out there, and why would you?
Mhm.
Right? So the idea is, now what?
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
And this is what's wrong with America, and this is why a lot of people won't have good conversations about this.
Mhm.
Right.
And he says there's a rhetorical question on there as well.
Well, it isn't. A rhetorical question might have been under your breath, or a text to me, or a text directly there. You put it out there for a reason.
Yep.
Not a rhetorical question.
So there was a lot of, so Kyle Rittenhouse with Black Lives Matter there was some conversations around there, and there's a show on Fridays that airs,
Bridging Civil Tension.
Yep. That airs really, really well about that conversations, and he's opened my eyes to a lot of. Phil's done a great job of opening my eyes for different things, and the certain softities of how you think as a person, and Black Lives Matters, and you get, as me as an individual, and I'll be very transparent and open with this conversation, because I don't care if it's Black Lives Matters versus White Lives Matters. I care about all lives matter, right? And he broke it down that you got to think a little differently on that. And I'm an open person, guys. At the end of the day, I'm stubborn on certain things. Safety, gun safety, you're not gonna change my mind. He did it. He should go to jail. There's no question about it.
Absolutely.
But with this kind of conversation, because
anybody who supported that,
yes,
right? Or
yes.
I mean, obviously, hey, I was in on it, or whatever.
Yes. Yep.
I handed you the loaded gun.
Whatever.
Now I'm an accomplice, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
Black and white conversation.
Right.
Yep. And you can't change my mind on it. I don't care what you say.
Right.
I'm stuck in my ways in this. I'm very passionate about it. I feel very strongly, and I have a really good heart when it comes to this kind of stuff. Phil opened my eyes to the fact that it's Black Lives Matter because they do, right? And it needs to be that way. He screwed the pooch.
Yeah, no, I mean, Alec. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I would highly recommend, if you have questions around ethnicity, around Black Lives Matters questions and stuff like that, please partner on Phil's show. He does a wonderful job. If he wants me to be a guest on the show and we talk guns versus, black and white versus guns, absolutely be more than happy to come talk with it. I'm always a great conversation with him. So I can't beat that as well. I'm done talking about Alec for the next year.
Yeah, I'm done for this year.
Pause for that next year.
That's it. Done for this year.
That was stupid. I'm sorry. But I do want to talk about another big thing that happened in America recently, and it was a school shooting.
Up in Crawford.
Yeah, Oxford.
Yeah,
Oxford. Oxford, Michigan.
Just outside of Detroit.
Yep. 15-year-old student. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't like giving praise to people that do this kind of stuff, and I never will. So I will not mention his name forever. Yeah. About just devil. Devil kid and devil parents. Sounds good. Yeah. Here's some really cool stuff that this sounded bad. I'm gonna start off by saying my hearts go out to the families that have lost children during not only a pandemic, a difficult time, and at something that should have been prevented. Okay. That's my opinion on it. Mm-hmm. Parents got arrested.
Good.
And I'm actually really proud of, proud of the justice system. Yep. Sometimes the justice system takes time. I get that. But in this instance, they already arrested parents of the children because of negligence, right?
Good.
Your kids go to school. Did you hear about this TikTok thing last Friday, right?
Yep. The school district that they go to sent home emails and
what was
chats.
I've seen a lot of them. Some people I work with have kids too, and they showed me some letters. What did your letter say from your school district? And You don't have to say- you don't have to
Well,
say
it
what
was a
school it is.
video the superintendent got on, and it was an email video, and he's like, we take these very seriously, and we're on high alert, blah 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 blah.
Your kids go to school?
Yeah.
80% of different, and I'm going to speak on behalf of somebody who works for me. I'm not going to say a name, I'm not going to say a school district. 80% of that school district didn't go to school. The 20% that went to school, number one, didn't trusted the fact that the school is going to handle it properly, right? The other, I think it was like 10% and like 5% and the other 4. There was 10% of the people that just didn't know about it at all.
Yeah.
0. However, the communication didn't get to that way as well. They were in a fucking meeting with the principal and a school psychologist while that gun was sitting in that kid's backpack. 2 hours before he went off. 2 hours. Shame on that school. Principal should be fired. Psychologist should be fired. Parents should be in jail.
So they had the shooter in a meeting for 2 hours?
Yeah. 2 hours before. They had him in a meeting.
Before.
Yeah.
Right.
So the story
They
goes.
They didn't check his backpack.
Thank you. Why? They check his locker. Cell phone. There's a credible threat.
Wow.
There's a credible threat that was pronounced. Okay. And this kid, and I'm going to say this because I have to say this because I'm a truthful person. I'm a transparent person. This kid has never gotten in trouble before.
Yeah.
He was bullied.
Yeah.
But there was no documentations of that bully. It's unacceptable, guys. It's unacceptable. And for the teachers that are listening in out there in the world, if you don't report a bully, you're creating a school shooter. I'm just going to say that right now. Do you know why? Because you're not creating a paper trail for the school psychologist to do their effing job. That school psychologist needs to see that that kid is bullied. They need to act on that stuff, and they need to stop the bullying as well. That entire school district, as well as the parents, and ultimately that child who's 15, who should be in the jail for the rest of his life, took 4 people's lives.
Yeah.
4 students dead, 11 people. He shot and killed 4 people, 11 people critically injured as well. Parents said they locked up the gun. Parents are basically leaving the kid hung to dry, which is exactly what I was going to say. And what I've been talking about is that it stems from the parents.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anybody that wants to argue with us, I would absolutely love to hear how the parents aren't at fault, because I want to know what your thought process is. Jessica, what did you say here? Thank you.
She says, and we're supposed to feel safe sending our kids to school.
100% right. Schools.
That yes, you are supposed to feel safe.
You are supposed to face it. 100% correct. Yeah, you should feel the school. School is a safety net, and we had this conversation in our office later in the day today. When you're at war, there's certain things that you do and certain things you can't do. You don't shoot. If you shoot a plane down in a war fight or a dog fight in the air, you don't go after the pilot because the pilot has survived your shooting, and it's just the right thing to do. You don't shoot hospitals because they already got wounded soldiers in there. They're already shot. They're trying to not die. Why are you going to go after and kill the wounded? That's kind of shady and cowardly is what I would call that.
Yeah.
Schools. When you were in school, did you have rights?
Sure.
You did?
Have rights?
Correct.
Yeah.
What would you consider? Should you have rights? Let me ask that differently. Is you in school, should you have rights as a child?
Yeah. Absolutely.
What would you consider a right? So let's talk about privacy. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So if you were a 15-year-old kid right now, and you had access to what you have access to in our technology realm, what I mean by that is you carry an iPhone or an Android or some kind of device, iPads or whatever, laptops, and you were looking up how to build a bomb on your cell phone. Okay. You're the quiet kid in the back room. You don't talk to friends and stuff like that. I'm just painting a picture here for somebody. And somebody sees that. Somebody walks behind you and sees that you're like looking at weird videos of building bombs, and you're like, that's strange. So you go tell a teacher. Should the school have access to your cell phone for what you're searching?
A lot of them do. A lot of them have put that into their handbooks,
Yep.
And you need to sign that saying you read that handbook, which
Yep.
then gives them the legal right to. Yeah.
For the parents out there, I asked the same question. And I'm going to pause for a couple minutes on this subject because I really do want to see some feedback on this. For the parents out there, if your kids are in school, should the teachers have access to their cell phones, backpacks, lockers, notes?
Yeah, they do. That's why I say, I mean,
But
the school districts that my kids attend, we sign saying, yeah, if it's there and a teacher wants to go through your backpack, they have the right to do that. If they want to go through your locker, they have the right to do that. And now on most campuses, you have a police officer or two.
Sure.
Yeah.
Officer friendly was ours.
Yeah.
It's always an officer friendly from what we've talked about
Right.
before.
Right.
So you have the school police officer in there. And there's a lot of kids that got arrested in our school for different various reasons, drugs and smoking in bathrooms. Sure. And
I mean, they would have the dog sniffing or the drug sniffing dogs go through our schools when we were kids back in the 80s, right?
Yeah. And when I was a kid in school, it was very, very clear I had no rights at all. And we just started getting pagers and cell phones, and they were just starting to get textable. And our teachers hated it as well, which is good. And Jessica put a comment on here too. I do want to read hers real quick. So she said, it is mandatory to go to school and needs to be safe. No, you're a minor.
So no rights.
No rights. This kid.
Always.
Those were always fun days.
Thank God. Thank God they didn't go out to the car. Never mind.
Yeah. I carried a shotgun in my car. I did. I had bullets in there and everything. I didn't think anything of it.
So here's the deal. You live in America, you have rights, no matter how old you are.
Of course,
right?
As you should.
And if you're at a public school and you have signed the necessary things, the school has protected itself to say, nope, you're here, and we can go through those things.
Why does this keep happening? Why do we? This is a blatant miss on the administration of the school. I don't know what happened in that meeting to make that 15-year-old kid convince a bunch of adults that it's safe to let him go back to school. So let me paint a quick picture for you. If you have a child, and I'm going to say child because I don't, he's 15.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Mm-hmm. His brain is not grown enough to make adult decisions. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's why we have an 18-year-old adult. Okay. You're an adult. That's when your brain's fully developed. You can make conscious decisions and you're not irrational. You shouldn't be as irrational. We all make dumb mistakes as 18-year-olds versus 30-year-olds, right? If you have a conversation with a student about something involving shootings, bombs, genocide, mass shootings, killing somebody, murdering somebody, hurting something else, mandatory.
Whoa.
I know. I'm throwing pens now. Mandatory 3 days outside of school. Immediately. You should literally take that kid's cell phone out of his pocket if he has one. You should empty his locker. You should empty his backpack, send him home for 3 days while you do your investigation to find out if this is credible or not. This is a school district fault as well.
Yeah.
And the parents are already arrested.
Yeah.
So justice system's handling that. I think the principal needs to answer questions about how this happened. And full disclosure, there's a trial that's about to happen. And I'm assuming he's going to be on trial and speaking as a witness, which I'm assuming is going to happen about what his conversation is. If that doesn't happen, there needs to be another trial. And that administrative needs to be put on an investigation done by an external investigation, not an internal investigation. I hate internal investigations. It's just a lie. It's like Facebook fact checkers. It's just y'all work for Facebook.
The difficult thing.
And I don't have kids, people, so that's why I'm asking Kent and I'm asking you because that's I don't know how you feel about it, but
listen, when I was a kid, I said something about Lewis's girlfriend. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend, and I got my nose broke. Okay. I mean, he didn't come after me with a gun. He broke my nose. right? And
Did you get suspended?
no, I slipped.
Did he? Okay, and well, listen,
Right?
that's
Listen.
the man thing to do, Ken. Let's be real here.
Let's be honest.
We live in a different world now where that's probably doesn't happen. But
we were in the locker room before gym, and the floor was wet.
Guys will be guys, girls will be girls. You got to have some part of that toughen your skin up. I think that's a big problem with America now is that we just don't have tough skin anymore.
And I grew up with the guy, and right now the guy is doing phenomenal things.
Your nose looks a little crooked.
Well, yeah, it's been straightened several times.
By the same guy?
No. And here's the deal.
Your nose looked beautiful.
I didn't even know he had a girlfriend, but had I known it was, I'm sure I said something, but because I'm that idiot. But had I known it was his girlfriend, I probably wouldn't, right? Because we grew up together, whatever. But so I got my nose broke. It wasn't a gun, right? I mean, he broke my nose, right? It was a jab. It was just a straight jab. Broke my nose.
Yeah.
That happens. Bullying happens.
But would you consider that a bullying thing, or would you just consider that hey, you're talking to my man? It's like I think about animal.
I bullied
instincts.
a lot. Listen, I was a jackass. It's part of life. Bullying is part of life, right? Nothing. Bullying is part of life, and the interesting thing is. I disagree that you're creating a shooter, right? Yeah, I turned your mic off. Yeah, no, I turned your mic off because I'm bullying you right now. No,
somebody's offended. Triggered much.
But
and the Bear Facts
and here's why I say that is because now we take it too far. Hey, nice shoes, Derek. All right, you're now a murderer. You're bullying. Derek's gonna come because you laughed at his shoes that he has, and now we got it right.
But I think there's different kinds of bullying. Like let's break that down. So I think we're talking about two different bullying types. If you're making fun of someone's shoes versus fat shaming someone because the kid's got a thyroid issue and they just don't know about it, and every day you walk in and say, "What's up, Piggy? What's up, Piggy? Hey, you want some food out of the trough that's in the corner over there? You should probably go do that. Oh, look, your butt crack's hanging out. Look at Fat Tim over there." That I'm just saying, like, there's a clear difference of like, hey, this kid's crying in the corner.
First of all, America is now tremendously obese, so let's make fun of the skinny kid.
I mean, the fat kids can really, honestly, if you think about it, could always beat up the skinny kids. I'm just saying, don't fuck with the fat kids.
Right? No, what I'm saying is, yes, there is, but now we go too far, and that's some of the problems that you have with gun control and gun laws and things like that. Whoa, these things go off by themselves. You can't have them anymore. Hey, but hey, you called me Piggy, so I had every right to shoot you.
And I'm not, listen, I'm not saying it, but you're creating that kid. You're creating this 15-year-old kid.
But you can't hide your kids from that. That's part of life.
And I understand that, but you need to have a conversation with that kid. A psychologist or somebody in the school system or a parent needs to have that conversation, and parents need to be informed. There's so much. Listen, I'm just going to say this real quick because with this family, clearly I can tell already. And I'm speaking again myself. I'm not a professional at this stuff, but his parents have left him out to hung to dry. They're basically saying, "Hey, we're just going to take care of ourselves." They literally got a high-paid lawyer. They paid for him. They went on the run. They took like 10 grand out of their bank account and hid in a warehouse to get away from the police and act like this. They literally let this kid go and get a public defender while they got paid attorneys to take care of them, which is disgusting. So I can already tell right off the bat, this is not a good family atmosphere for this child.
Yeah. Listen, Chris says it, none of this stuff happened when I was in school. What's changed? The parenting. Yeah. Listen, we as a family still sit down every night at the dinner table. We talk about
great
things.
Dad.
How was your day? The other thing is now mom and dad both have to work 2 jobs to afford the shoes, the phone, the cars, this, that. You go into your kids' room, they have TVs, computers, cell phones. They've got everything they need to be dialed in. I laugh at my daughter. Listen, it was absolute hell being grounded to your room when I was a kid.
Oh, fuck.
I can't get my kids out of their room. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna have to ground you
Sure.
to the fucking garage.
Yeah.
I guess
I'm gonna ground you to the creek bed to hang out with your friends
Right.
outside.
right. And
No, don't make me do it.
right, you know what I
It's
mean?
true.
So I mean, the crazy thing is uh, because we here in America, and let's be honest, I don't know if there's any other school shootings anywhere else in the world other than here in America. We've become that too big, too much. And we just are horrible people for the most part. I mean, again, I have 4 kids, cannot fathom
Yep.
uh, hiding in a warehouse while my 15-year-old
Thank you.
son or daughter
Yep.
is scared for their life.
Yep.
All right. There's issues there, but at the same time, my kids better know that if they were to do something stupid like that, they ought not come home, because hell hath no fury like that, right?
Yep.
I mean,
My mom
Right.
used to. It's funny to this day, but I wasn't even allowed to swear as a child at all in the house.
Yeah.
If I swore, oh man, I'd probably get hit with something
Yeah.
pretty hard.
No, don't kid yourself, right? I've got 3 daughters, and I've told my daughters, I'm like,
Yep.
listen, they piss you out. I don't care who they are. You ball up your fist, you hit them right in the nose. I said, no, you might have a fight on your hand. You could get your ass whooped.
Yep.
But understand, they'll leave you alone because they know they got a fight on their hand.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to get at with point wise is we all know that kid in school. We all had that kid in school that smelled funny, that maybe didn't have nice clothes or didn't have the cell phone and stuff like that.
And if you didn't, guess what? You probably were that person.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's very true. And Kent, you're 100% right. Bullying is a part.
Yeah.
Bullying happens to this day,
Yeah.
even as an adult, right?
Well, that's what
in
I tell
the
them.
business world. Oh boy, let me tell you something.
Every day.
Let me tell you, fake reviews, fake online presence, clickbaiting, wasting money off of ads, Google AdWords. They go and click, and they'll click 100,000 times and cost you $5,000.
Listen,
That's the modern day bullying. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. Your
workmate stabbing you in the back, rolling you under the bus. Yeah,
100%. Oh my god, and never talk shit behind
It's
you.
worse than
It is a lot worse because you don't have that kid in school that's in your face calling
Right.
you fat. You have the kid, talking to.
There are no repercussions. If I come over there and break your nose,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
going
going
to
to
sue
jail.
me.
I'm going to jail, and
right.
you're suing me. You're 100% correct that there is a certain type of bullying situation that makes you up who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Google founders, I'm going to say Google because I just want to say that right now. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, I'm sure wasn't the most popular kid in school. And we all know for a fact that he was not the most popular kid in college, as he decided to make a platform to rate women and find out who's having sex with who. At the same time, we wouldn't have a platform like we do without that kind of person in this world. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. So there is a path for your own. And we just watched Matrix last night, so I'm sorry, guys, but there is like some inside questions in my head of life and our path. And I'm a Marvel fan, so the multi-universe is open right now for my nerds friends out there. So the multi-universe is dancing around. There's like 70 different people. We're going way off topic.
Never seen one of those movies. So.
You haven't? Oh, I love it. It's amazing.
I'm not a nerd.
I am a super nerd, and I'm okay with it. And I would never admit that when I was a kid, right? Because I played sports all my life.
Cool,
I considered myself a jock, and I'm not a nerd. I don't wear glasses. I need to see. Right. I don't need to wear glasses.
Well, here's the issue, and let's be honest. Our teachers are highly underpaid.
Whose fault's that?
Overworked.
Whose fault's that?
And the issue is these people should be paid like doctors are paid.
Whose fault?
Why
teachers are underpaid?
Yeah, it's ours. It's the government. Yeah,
it's not the government. It's the people. We vote and elect people in to run our school boards.
Right.
Our school boards need to stand the fuck up and say these teachers are being underpaid. The supervisors that are making $200,000, $300,000 a year overseeing the school, get it. You got a lot more responsibility, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. You're not teaching the kids.
Right.
The kids that are being taught are getting paid by a person that is. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Yeah.
Your choice to be a teacher.
No, I get it.
Okay. So, and
there are great teachers out there. Don't get me wrong.
Correct. Right? Let me tell you, I have a cousin that's a teacher. My sister is a school psychologist. She's in the school system as well. My brother is a guidance counselor, works in the school system. All 3 of them underpaid really bad. in my opinion on that stuff as well. What I'm saying is human decency needs to be paid attention to when that kid's being quiet. So
Yeah.
you got to be careful with that as well. So
yeah,
that's
we're
what
on the
I
back
got.
end of season 1 right here.
Yes.
We're going to take a few weeks off,
Yes. 2 weeks off.
right?
February.
You'll be back in February,
February.
as we say, February.
February.
But until then, we've got the Dream Home Experts season 4 coming up.
Yep.
In January. March? I thought it was January.
No.
March?
I don't know.
You guys pushed it back?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, it is January 14th. Wow. Way to pension.
Welcome to the show.
Sorry.
Welcome to the show.
Sorry,
Of course,
guys.
on Friday nights. Tomorrow morning, Christmas Eve morning, the ground's going to be here. So tune in at 7:30 for the grounds. A little Giles and Jones. Might be a little extra long, but we're going to have a little bit of fun on Christmas Eve. Listen, if you don't know, this has been the Bear Facts on Guns. Check them out on the website, and it goes right to their page. And listen, season 2, we want to have opposing views. We want to have great conversations. I've learned so much from this show as I do from every show here in 21/6 Net. I thank you, Derek, and have a blessed Christmas.
Thank you, man.
And a very happy New Year.
Thank you, all the listeners out there. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year, and thank you for tuning in. 216 Net, always an amazing broadcasting platform. Really appreciate everything you do. As my producer, been amazing to work with, so appreciate that, sir.
Pew pew.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!